What is up, my YouTube nerds? It's your coding bro Monoman Codes here, bringing you another video in our programming in C++ series. Last videos we've, brushed up on strings and functions on strings and how to manipulate them. In this video and upcoming videos I'll be going over sorting algorithms, where in this video I'll be touching over bubble sort. Let's begin by opening up Visual Studio. I believe bubble sort was the very first sorting algorithm I learned, and it was nice and simple, easy to understand. So if it's not in your recent project templates, we go to console app or here. Let's actually name this bubble sort since we're on the 11th episode. We create it, just wait for all the files to be, loaded in or created. And let's go over what bubble sort is. Right? In bubble sort, it has two main functions or properties. First property, it goes over your entire array, and then it checks to see if, if A is less than B. Right? And if it is, it swaps those together. So let's say we have an array, 5, 7, 1, 3, 4, right? What the first property is that we need to implement our bubble sort program, it checks to see is 5 less than 7. Yes. So it goes down to is 7 less than 1. No. So what it needs to do, it would need to do swap those two together, so it'd be 5, 1, 7, 3, 4. Then it would check to see is 7 less than 3. That's another negative. So it's 5, 1, 3, 7, 4. Right? Continues to do this the number of times of the size of your array. So it'd become 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. The very end, right? Properly sorted, everything, it increments from left to right. What we need to do is first using namespace standard, get rid of that. What we need to do is create two functions. First function is just to swap the two values around, right? Second function we would need to implement is our bubble sort, which this function will just be traversing over our array. And inside we would have a for loop inside a for loop to go over it once, but then also keep on going over until we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, right? Let's first start with our swap function. Inside our swap function, we would have an integer A, integer B. But with bubble sort, we would actually have to do an asterisk after integer. Just another type of pointer. Pointer was complex when I first learned about it. I'll go over it more in detail in future videos, but just for this video, just know that we have to put an asterisk here and here. So in swap, we can't just do, A equals B and B equals A, because then we lose what A was. What we need to do is create another integer and name it integer temporary or temp for short, and have that equal asterisk A, right? So now temp has the value of A stored inside of it. Then we could just do A equals B. Don't forget the asterisk. And then B equals temp, right? So then temp has A's value stored inside, and then A gets what B has, and then B would get what A used to have. That's pretty much it for our swap function. Now we need to just implement the bubble sort, so a for loop. So int I equals 0, I is less than size minus 1. Oh, my apologies. So the inputs we would need to put for a bubble sort is our array. and then our size of that array, so int size. Get rid of that error there. Okay. Then we have to increment I. And that's pretty much it for our first for loop. The one for loop that's inside that, we do integer j equals 0, j is less than size minus 1, but then also minus I, so we don't have to go over, 5, 5, 5, it go over wherever I is at, and then j plus plus, right? And then inside of that, we'd have to create an if statement. And that's pretty much for checking to see is 5 less than 7, right? Or in this case, is 5 greater than 7? Which it's not, so it doesn't swap those. So our if function, we do AR, or the name of your array, check to see where j is at, and is j greater than j plus 1, right? So let's say j equals 0, so j is 5 currently. And then j plus 1 would be 7. So is 5 greater than 7? That's a negative, so it doesn't do that. But if 7, let's say our j is 1, and arj is 7, and then 1 plus, but j plus 1 is makes our array 1 in that position. That's less than, or my bad. ARRJ, if j is 1, then that's 7. J plus 1, that'd be 1. 7 greater than 1? Yes. So we call in the swap function. And then this is another pointer, but we don't have to worry about it. Just remember to put in the and sign. Right? We call the swap function. So just do what we talked about earlier, just swaps those two values around. That's pretty much it for the swap and bubble sort function. Last but not least, we have to actually, create an array, get its size, and then call those functions. So int arr or array or whatever you want to name it. And we do 6, 1, 7, 3, 5, 4, 11, 19, or whatever you want to name it, just for this example. And then we do int size, size of our array, divide by size of our array at 0. Right? Then all we need to do is call bubble sort, give it both the array that we created and the size that we found. And that's pretty much it. So to actually print it and display it on the console, let's get rid of this. Let's actually put bubble sort array. And then what we just need to do is create another for loop. So int I equals 0, I is less than our size, I plus plus. Then we do cout arr at I space, so they're not all cluttered together. And that's pretty much it. Save and then run our program. Where's the error? Ah, my bad. These aren't ints. These would be void since they don't return anything. We don't need them to return anything. That's why they're void. Yeah, my apologies. And as you can see, our previous array or unsorted array is 6, 1, 7, 3, 5, all the way up to 19. Then after bubble sort, we have 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 19. And there we go. We just now sorted your first array. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment down below or email me. This wraps up this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And if you found this content enjoyable or informative, like or subscribe. For those that are actually still in school, going over the quarantine issue, good luck on finals. For those that aren't in school, stay healthy. Just watch out. As always, remember, stay nerdy. See ya.